So in the healthcare industry, there are jobs for foreigners to do. If you can learn the language. In construction, you don't need the language to work in construction. There's always building going on in Switzerland. I think if you're someone that is into construction and you come to Switzerland, you will always get a job.
Your friend, you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Wendu. I'm a content creator that is based in Zurich, Switzerland. On my YouTube channel, I share content about Switzerland, about relocating, about my life in Switzerland, about integration, and every other beautiful thing that you know that comes with Switzerland. So on today's video, I'm going to be answering some of the questions that most international students are asking. So this question, I don't think is applicable only to Switzerland. So depending on any country you are going to, most of these questions are applicable. Okay, so I have my phone here and the questions I am going to be getting here. Okay guys, so the first question I have here, so if you're my returning subscriber, thank you so much. If you're coming across my video for the first time, thank you so much. Please click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a video. Please, I am recording this video with daylight. I'm not using a ring light. I'm recording with daylight, so in case if the light keep fluctuating, I am sorry about that. Okay guys, I have the first question I have here is, can I relocate can I come to study in Switzerland with my 4-year-old child? And my advice to you is, if you're a lady and you're trying to move to any country, it doesn't have to be Switzerland, and you're thinking about carrying an innocent child with you, a child that is at 4 years old, they haven't started school, you are going to get frustrated because you're going to be changing naira to a foreign currency to pay for daycare fee for that child, because that child is not up to the age to go into school. Even if they are the age of going into school, school finish at 12 o'clock and you're going to be paying for after school program. So my advice to you, beloved sister, if your mother is alive, or you have a sister that is alive and okay, that you can trust your child with, or your spouse back in Nigeria, leave your child behind, come over here, settle in, get a job, start your study, and when you know you have gotten your footing, you can go ahead and bring your child. So another one I have here is, what jobs are in demand in Switzerland for students? So in the healthcare industry, there are jobs for foreigners to do. If you can learn the language. In construction, you don't need the language to work in construction. There's always building going on in Switzerland. I think if you're someone that is into construction and you come to Switzerland, you will always get a job. Just across my window, the building next to mine was just brought down, and there is a massive construction going on there. If you're into IT, information technology, as a foreigner, you are going to get a job in Switzerland or abroad. Okay, the other question I have is, can you get a job in Switzerland only speaking English? Yes, you can get a job in Switzerland only speaking English, but it has to be a professional job. If you're looking for a job where you're going to be working with the locals, then for me, I think it's a no-brainer for you to think that you can use English alone to study. So they're not going to understand to work. That means they're not going to understand you. Yeah, so it's a no-brainer, to be honest. If you're a professional in your field, then beautiful. Professional does not mean if you're a medical doctor or you're a nurse. No, you need to speak the language in this kind of course. So I'm talking about if you're into data analyst, IT, banking, and some other jobs like that, you can use English to get a job. So another one is it hard to get a job as a foreigner in Switzerland? I think for every country you go to, it is very difficult to get a job. You need to be able to understand how to write the CV, understand how to present the CV, understand the job market in that country. There are requirements that comes with writing CVs. It varies from country to country. So as long as you have your skill set and you're in for the competition, just throw yourself into the pool, and the possibility of you getting a job is really, really high. Okay, can I live in Switzerland without having a job? You can't even live in your country without having a job. You can't live in Nigeria or Africa or any country without having a job. So you can't live in Switzerland without having a job. The first step for you getting a job in Switzerland is getting a residence permit. So if you have a residence permit, it doesn't matter what permit, as long as the permit stipulate that you are allowed to work, then you can get a job and live. Who do you want to be living off? You don't want to be living off the government, right? So for you not to live off the government, you need to get a job. Okay guys, Switzerland, what is the most wanted job in Switzerland? Healthcare, construction, and retail, as I said. are in high demand for foreigners. Because for me, I think if you're someone that has a flair for language, you have a flair to develop yourself, then in the healthcare industry, you can do good for yourself, work on hourly basis, get your income. Construction, as I said before, there is always some construction going on in Switzerland from January to December. In the retail, yes, you can get a job in Switzerland. So which city in Switzerland has more job opportunities? For me, the bigger cities that are well known, like Zurich, like Bern, like Geneva, like Lausanne, Basel, Bern, Zurich, Geneva. These are the big cities in Switzerland. Other cantons are a bit smaller and a bit stricter. So these cantons I have mentioned, like Zurich, Bern, Basel, Lausanne, Geneva, these are cantons where you can easily get a job because there are big cantons in Switzerland. How long can I work in Switzerland without a permit? If you are working for an employer in Switzerland for 3 months, you don't need a permit. But for you to stay more than 3 months or extend your work visa, you have to get a work permit to be able to work and live in Switzerland. But the first 3 months, it's open for you. A lot of Americans or a lot of British people, they come here to test the job market. They get an gainful employment and work for 3 months and see how it is for them. If it's okay for them, then they go ahead and apply for a permit. If it's not okay for them, they can go ahead and go back to their country. So for 3 months, when you come here, you are allowed to work without a permit. So what happens when you are unemployed in Switzerland? So imagine if you have been in Switzerland and you have worked and you lost your employment. There is an office that is called RAF. So RAF pay you 70% of your salary. So imagine if you're making 3,000 or 4,000, they will pay you while you are not employed. They will pay you 70% of your salary while you are looking for a job. So they will want you to always show that you've looked for up to 10 to 20 jobs in a month. You have to provide proof that you're gainfully looking for employment. You don't just sit at home and expect them to pay you. So you need to make an effort to make sure that you're looking for a job before they go ahead and pay you 70% of the salary you were earning. So if you were earning 1,000 francs in a month, they will pay you 70% till you get a job. So a lot of people have asked, how can I get a job fast in Switzerland? Switzerland is a very technologically, they are sound. So most of the job offers are published on Switzerland in Switzerland are online, even though there are vitamin D. So vitamin D means that maybe someone is working in a company and they know there is an opening and you're their friend and they decide to tell you. That is what we call vitamin D. But apart from that, there are companies, all the majority, 99% of the companies, when they have opening, they publish it online, they throw it online for you to apply and get a job. And if you apply and you meet the requirement, they will send you an email or they will call you on phone to say, okay, we got your application form and letter. Are you still interested? Then they fix a date for interview and stuff like that. But most of the things are done online. And when you apply online, the possibility of you getting a job is high. So someone asks, how long can a foreigner stay in Switzerland after losing a job? So if you had a job, maybe you've lived here for at least 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you lost your job, you have 6 months where the RAF is going to be paying you to look for a job. And after that 6 months, if you don't get a job, you're going to be leaving. Okay, if you have a residence permit, you have a work permit, you have 6 months window to look for a job. And I think within that 6 months, if you're consciously looking for a job without being selective in quotes, you're looking for something that will keep you afloat before you get your dream job, you have 6 months to look for a job before you are asked to leave if you don't get a job. So someone asks, what is the safest city in Switzerland? Switzerland generally is really, really safe. But people say Canton Zug is safe. Like here, I saw that Canton Zug is very stable, fast area to live. Zug is Switzerland's safest region with the lowest crime rates per 1,000 population of all Swiss cities. So most people say Zug because it's a very, very tiny canton and it's very expensive. Zug is one of those, I think they call it tax heaven, but accommodation, lifestyle there is expensive. So people think that Zug is safest, not cheapest. It's one of the expensive cantons to live in, but it's one of the safest as well to live in. Okay, guys. So is Geneva better than Zurich? Geneva is quieter. I don't think Geneva is quieter. For me, I live in Zurich. I've been to Geneva before and I didn't like it. Zurich, in my own opinion, is one of the better place to live than Geneva, because in Geneva you have a lot of francophones, like a lot of a lot of black people, a lot of African people in Geneva, because Geneva speaks French and it's very easy for them to, you know, come across the border, get a job and live and reside in Geneva if they come to France. But in Switzerland they speak German, so that's why they have less population of African immigrants in Zurich, because of the German language. Yeah, so I don't want this video to be too long. I hope I have gotten enough for you and I've answered a lot of your questions. Zurich or Geneva? Zurich anytime, any day. The safest that people say is Zug. How to look for a job online is your best plug. Google anything. Go to Google and Google anything you want to. Every information you need is on social media. On this YouTube or on this social media platform, we try to create content that add value, and I think that's what I'm adding. So if this is the kind of video you like to watch or you want to see more of these, please stay glued to my channel, click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and you will always get notified whenever I post a video. Till then, God bless you and stay safe, and I wish you the best in whatever decision you make. Okay, bye.